Good morning, or whatever it is, wherever you are. There's been an apocalypse, so we have back map now. I might end up turning off biomes by default while I work, just because it's a little bit slower. But having an Arcand nearby might make things a little bit more interesting. Although I guess the map doesn't recognize it as an Arcand yet. Just that we have the seed for this one. Some of these roads make a little bit more sense now. Alright, so we have a bug here. I noticed that doing range selects doesn't even, I guess it's, well, yeah, that's a top range select. Doesn't do anything to this, which I have to think about. I guess it might not make sense on arc, but if this is in range, it could make sense. This is eventually going to replace data selection for here, hopefully. I still have to go back and get this to change at appropriate times. Would like to be able to select those things somehow, which could be a user interface issue. All right. Well, that one worked. Okay, so it's only on the base bar. This is fine. Maybe it's ones that cause a world change? No? Well, one thing on this, by looking at time, is that we have to do some kind of lazy on the background. Because that made the timeline playback performance really terrible. So what's with our first range select? And if it was just changing periods, then the second one wouldn't work either. And we do kind of have things set up as a... Alright, so what if we do that? Oh, that kind of didn't work either. If we wait for it? No. So that clearly recognized a drag, but it broke somehow. I mean, I guess if I'm watching events in general, I'd see it. There's going to be a lot of other events. Okay, we have animation on. Is it that I'm doing it while the animation's still on? That is not sufficient. Timeline enter, timeline move. Wait, a URL update. And then wait, a timeline enter after the grab? Timeline move, timeline up. Ooh, yeah, we're updating everything. Okay, so part of the problem is that we're updating current position and time position, which is causing a lot of background updates, maybe. All right, so we know that that noise is going on. Log. Leave. Aren't they saying enter events? Oh, I missed you. Okay, so we have a down, we have a move, and enter. It would have been held at that point. Okay, so I've been using this to detect out of frame. Well, actually, this could go either way. Oh, do I only subscribe to those when we start dragging? Well, that would have been the first time we did it, so... Saying held was false. So maybe there was like a deferred enter event from before the button was down? So I might have to have that one on all the time. Does Wen do some translations for us? Yes, you do HTML attribute. Okay, so that still had a problem. We're still getting enter messages. Can I? No, that's all requests. Yeah, I got enter false again, even though it's not switching on and off. Is it because of the child elements? Oh no, this is the top level, like window enter. Why do I get a spurious enter? I mean, extra leave would really mess us up, but we should see it happen. Okay, that's old message. We never left. So that was supposed to happen in the case where we leave and then return. So, do I have to track when we've left? So I can ignore the enter events that are spurious? WPF. Alternately, this seems to be just the first one. Well, actually, it's not even the first one, it's like the second one. Although, it was the first one that was when dragging. Would I be able to... Oh no, I can't really get out, can I? Wait. You didn't give me an extra one. Oh, probably because I grabbed? Okay, so that's a grab versus... There's a down. I guess I don't technically have to do downs on released only. Maybe that would keep it from having some DOM change issues. So we do get an enter. I guess this is as soon as we subscribe to it. We haven't even received the down message yet. Or actually, I made this subscribe all the time for the time being, didn't I? That didn't really make any difference. Okay, then we could just ignore the first enter. Well, I'd actually want to track if we had to leave. I'm not sure how we would do that. I hate hacks like this, but I don't see a way around it. Oh, that's always false. So we kind of want to see the first one. And we didn't see it if we just did this. I guess the really weird one is we didn't see it on these timelines. So I can't explain that one. Ooh. So now what happens? Oh, it did manage to track, but we didn't get an enter at all. Oh, no. I got an enter true. I guess that's not necessarily a true statement of what it is yet anymore, but I almost want to leave that in for a little bit. And we have to do console log. Okay, apparently that's not the signature. Okay, so I gave you a level. Oh, you do take values. I don't have a simple message version. So I'd have to encode this as a value. Do we not have decode in here at all? Or I guess this is technically be encode. And this isn't core. Int, string, float, bool. Oh. Okay, it was JSON.decode. And it was qualified. Well, that took a while to show up. Okay, I guess the message, the JavaScript was busy with that stuff. That was the thing we were doing before, just to be an empty. This actually probably isn't a high priority. That's playback efficiency. And I don't think we have a source control window yet. Oh, right. I was trying to prevent changes on you. I don't think that hurts anything. It doesn't actually help either. And technically, that is changes that have to be done, have to be made to the DOM when things happen. Okay. So right now, I think we're hard coding what displays. This end up in model. This is the wrong arc. Arcs in range. So if 0, we do arcs in range. If else, we do spans in range. And really, we want to do this based on what's going to look good. Now, I guess 0 is always going to be a little bit special. It's always going to be the full range of whatever. You, however, can depend on what's a good size. I guess this could technically be a maybe not map. Because it's just to just. Not going to change a whole lot, though. Okay, so that's minus 1 is just saying the range of this thing. Spans are really... Well, I guess for like the really big ones, we did it based on data. So it's not necessarily going to be at most a day, but mostly a day. And did we say there was a point? Well, where about 1 day is... And that's probably a couple of pixels there. So if the period of 1 day which is max minus min max minus min the period of 1 day, this is... Oh, your POSIXes. We have to do math with these. What do we do with you? We just did that stuff. This might just be nicer to read. All right, today. Well, that was in milliseconds, right? Well, it's 24 hours times 60 minutes times 60 seconds. So typical span width is... day divided by range. It's less than 5, then we go back to here. I'm seeing an int. Oh, right, you... Oh, no, it's range. More parentheses. Width is probably an int, because we never had a reason to do that before. Okay, so 5 actually seems pretty small. I was going to probably say something about typical arc widths, too. And I don't think I really have a subdivision smaller than that. Oops. If we were to like go multi-level, does it really matter if there's a break there? I mean, maybe you want to look around there. And we don't have... I don't really have any other data modes right now. Let's see, so hit detection. I might need to figure out my display first. Because right now, right now I'm letting it sort of auto figure out where to draw things. Which isn't something I can easily reverse to get a... Well, if I'm in arc mode, I can look up the arc for that moment. If I'm in span mode, I can look up the span for that moment. But we're probably going to want to have some kind of visual feedback that's a selectable thing, which means we're going to have to get into some kind of pointer event anyway. So I probably need, well, I probably need to cover this. 'Cause that's going to affect the accuracy of this. So yeah, nothing. Even though you still have worlds. Now, worlds are going to end up a little bit more finely chopped just because of other events. Do I even have current world? Server has a list of worlds. Where does this come in? Is it only used by Leaflet? Okay, we have current arc. What are we using current arcs? Current server maybe map.arcs. So servers do have worlds. Are they remote data? No, you always exist. You just might be empty. You don't have to be a maybe. Current server is a maybe, though. All right, do you define timeline modes? Now you see we have arcs in range. You probably have to do this as like worlds in range. In time, max time. What does the world look like? You're an whole data thing? Or are you a derived model thing? Now you're... You have a start and an end that's a maybe. So actually, this could work technically for both. Remote data dot map. 602. Oh. Yeah. Wait. Are you a list top map? Or are you just an apply? And you don't need a default. Although maybe I could say, well, if it's blank, just make it blank. If I don't have world to range, even though arc to range. Pretty much the same thing. Okay, where are you? You are in view. And then we have to export this. Okay. We're on server 1. We'd have this set up so that there's no time. Did I switch before? Oh, okay. So this is I did something there to make that work. Okay, so you don't have a whole bunch of arcs. You have various generation changes. And then we're back where we actually have seeds. Maybe I should get the world names on here somewhere. Is that a thing we have? It does have a name. Oh, does it have to be? Don't have to be on hover or something. So we'd have to have a thing to figure out the current world for the current point, which we have to have somewhere, but maybe it's in Leaflet. So in theory, those cover all of time, but I don't know if that's completely true. Oh, I called this display timeline arcs. But you're just all the same thing. I may have to differentiate this as we get into clicking on things. Is this a separate to-do item? What if data doesn't cover whole timeline range? Do we have anything? Fix up end time, world merge, rebuild worlds. I've done mostly for the map before. Those will be exposed functions, right? There's a current. Okay, that's a helper function. It is exposed though. Oh, things with a start. We may have never had to deal with world stuff before. And then you kind of never knew that. Wait, really? This doesn't feel like... like it's the same data set. Because we should have had a lot more arcs back in the beginning. Oh, great, this empty string actually didn't work out too nice. Yeah, there should be way more arcs than that. Shoot. I guess that means I have to have a way to display arcs so I can flip back and forth to get a visual compare. And you're not even going to be that easy to do a flip on. All right, now I'm not going to worry about the dynamic display one as much. It's going to look more like this. Remote data.map arcs in range. You were min time, max time. That does look different. So are worlds only data generation parameters? Well, every arc should be a change in data generation parameters. Yeah, that looks very different. And it's not like there's a whole bunch of detail down at one end. Oh yeah, all the generation stuff. Oh, are you only dealing with larger scale parameters, not seeds? Might need a whole new concept. Well, no, there's biome ran seed. Oh, right, that... And then we have to make this let... Oh, it's a list world, so we actually have to... Stop map. Oh, that goes way back. For server 2. Bigger server 2. Yeah, so we only have banned things here. So I guess I must be handling the seeds directly from arcs instead of from here. I actually thought I had broke it every time arc changed. So I need I need an entirely new concept that does mash those up. Is that right? Or are these worlds only like the constant worlds? And then we actually send something else over. World list. Okay, we only sent it once. It's only 16. So this has to be those. So these has to be only the constant worlds. Or the not including seeds. World.generation. Did I have a different name for this? Because I thought I had rebuild worlds. Which I thought that took a list of arcs. And where do we actually send that? Okay, well, there's initial status. Okay, init with nothing. Rebuild worlds command. World list. Oh, I spammed out. Okay, 74. 153. This stuff is apparently happening way too often. Okay, so we calculate this and send it to Leaflet. We never keep it. And right now it's only a command. Well, your model, and you do add command. We got a server. It's a maybe server, so we're going to have to deal with that. So this is going to be a full update, because we have to do a command and a current server update. Is current server a model thing? Yes. Model.selected server and then dict.get model.servers. So actually I probably use the server worlds as part of that rebuild process. No, those are ages. Oh, maybe I have a slot here for worlds. I never update it. Yeah, that rebuilds with that. That rebuilds with that. Okay, yeah, so we've got all the places for it. We just never actually rebuild it. And this is a maybe server, so we're going to have to figure out how we maybe update. Well, current server is a shorthand, right? For model.selected server, and then if something is selected, we dict.get that. So this would be kind of a... It's like if it exists in both dimensions, then we... Well, if we got something, then we have to go back and do that update. So rebuild world is a full thing. We've got an equivalent of add command. Which is add update. Is it? A model to model command message. Right, a thing that produces commands given the model. We have the modified model and the modified commands. You're not just command. Okay, we have to do... This is kind of a maybe update. And if we're not careful, we could remove the entry. Well, even the ID's a... even the ID's a maybe. So at some point we have to do a test to see if we're even going to update the dict. Yeah, we have to have this selected server ID again. I guess this is kind of a map too. No, because we still have to return a model if it's not. It turns into maybe. It is kind of a straight up if, though. Okay, so it's a server update, and we also have the model update. Okay, so maybe servers is not a, not that. Dict server. Oh, this is an update. Actually, update is a transform. You interesting. This itself says if it's there, then do something to it, but we've already pulled it, so no, I did do an insert. Okay, so that looks like a spicier history. Where the heck am I debug logging this from? I know we did, I just think I removed that one. Oh, actually, we are seeing the, is that like arc number or something? So that's supposed to be rift times. Yep, rift times. And we do indeed have problems with these kind of blocking things out. Now, we were in spans there. It's not clear when it switches over. It's clearer when you have the bigger ones out here. All right, and then we shouldn't need arcs. I mean, actually, these were arcs. They could have been all over here, I guess. Do I need this? It could be useful sanity check when we start doing data range stuff. Also, we already looked at this, right? And that's pretty much the same. Huh. Oh, I didn't. That's worlds again. We don't cover the entire range. Well, we know what the range of this thing is. If we switch back to arcs, that will probably be that case. Okay, that got one little tiny period. Okay, so yeah, here's all of that stuff. Now, this is case in point. Oh, so this selected an arc. This selected all the spans in the arcs. This is the one that just evenly split to contain a large amount of data. This is actually one of the larger ones. 10.2 to 10.9. Well, I guess technically these were pretty big in here. Maybe this is actually... No, it's definitely still Rift. Because we've got the box there. So this is a display issue. Although I could possibly... No, because I don't have an arc to put there. I could possibly fix it up there, so I'd have to fix it up every time here. So we've got a min and a max. We clamp them to min and max. But we're just using this fill portion trick. So I either have to look at what our first and last entries are, or I have to do these as more actually calculated positions. And this is the thing that might become SVG someday, too. I have to pass down width to do a scaling factor. Do you have width? And you probably have, you have timeline. Yeah, so we never use that directly, but we could. So this version of it guarantees there's probably going to be, I'm assuming it guarantees going to be like 1 pixel of display. But that might end up kind of distorting things from their true position. Right. So this has to be line width. So now, let's see, the scaling factor is going to be global. So max minus min. I guess it's going to be kind of a scaling function. Well, there's two things. There's the width. Well, I guess the offset will work similarly if we do select difference from min. So there's that in time space. We have to divide something by that and then do width. And this is all have to be in floating space. And possibly back to int for use in coordinates. T is also going to be so we have to do this for every instance. Nope. All right. Yeah, pix is going to be an int. Okay, that only covers to there. More parentheses. Oop. Times W function. I guess in here we don't need that. So we need width, pix, scale, and can we even absolutely position things? Or is where we have to go to SVG? Okay, wrong page. There's a line left and line right. There's padding, which isn't quite right. But I'd probably have to like on top these to give so that they don't depend on previous ones. Yeah, figuring out first and last is the only way that's compatible with this way of doing things. So there's not a whole lot of DOM stuff here. So this will work in a... So obviously that's over there. I don't remember if things were that far over before. But if we could do a left position, it would be start minus min. Let's see, so I used collage before. And the limit I had with collage position them relative to each other. I mean, I can pretty much just calculate things. It doesn't even mention LMSVG. That is very straightforward for what we're trying to do, I think. Now, this is technically a data chart, but I think that is focused on like axes and things. Nightly version. So there was line charts. I've forgotten what the latest one is. There's been so many different versions of that. It's like there was a charting library, then there was line charts, and now there's a different one that covers more. I can just start looking at them all and try to figure out which one's recent. That's kind of the classic version of packaged decision. And I didn't think it was that long ago. Okay, so we have charts. We have Elm charts. We have alpha, we have nightly. This was an interim version. of Elm charts. Move to alpha soon. So this is like a leftover. So this is stable. Missing, misleading, and plain wrong documentation. Why are you even publishing it then? Is the easiest way to get testers? Okay. Well, I think line charts was the intermediate version, so basically this is it. Yeah, ticks, labels, axis. Well, oh, this is the demos. So these are pretty sparse. Yeah, these are all very similarly formatted, probably for consistency. But none of them... Oh, there was one missing axis. Show just plain data without axis. I also don't know. I mean, I guess it'll be a single bar. Basic position. Oh. Model label 6, remove arrow, only integers. Timeline, custom formatting, custom labels. It's kind of a bar chart. If it was one stacked bar. Again, these are stacked. They're not really positioned. This is almost more of a timeline. Yeah, this is for like displaying standard statistical stuff. So there was a way just to make a box. C.rect. And I guess that would be in the chart coordinate system. So that's saying axis ticks labels, and we're still getting them. Although maybe these have to be included in the chart attribute list to say axis, ticks, labels. Okay, axis, ticks, labels. Of course, we're also doing this background thing. Oh, that might be ticks. Because this has nothing on that axis. I'm also assuming that there's some way to control colors and things. Okay, and that's HTML. Did we go from here? Yes, we did. Okay, and there's the example reference. If I remove it, I might have to go back and reference some of that stuff. All right, so external libraries. So you're doing stuff directly with SVG. I guess I already have SVG a bit. I see. Probably don't want to mash up these attributes. But we're going to have a lot of these from the looks of things. Chart dot attributes. Okay, Elm charts. Now you see, this is 2.0, but I installed 1.0. So there's probably a dependency on something that's incompatible. So Elm core shouldn't be a problem. It newly installed Elm DOM, Elm HTML 1 to 2, Elm JSON 1 to 2. It newly installed regex. I already had SVG. No, it says it's inclusive of 1.01. Elm time. Test 122. Nginx doesn't have a test dependency. Round, I think that was newly installed. Yeah. I wasn't paying attention to this. Are we just back to typoed this somehow? Attributes. All right. Hmm. $2018. Okay, so that is 1.0. And then we just did a full replacement, which so we have to find elm.json, which they don't even show the old one. Oh, this is docs elm.json. Depreciated. Wait, this is 17? Maybe. Well, we did have the change to. Yeah, this is. Maybe it couldn't satisfy one of these dependencies. Oh, there's intervals. Browser. SVG, we had 1.0, 1.01. Yeah, that's just a version change. This is one of the problems with Elm. Actually, there is no way to uninstall this, so... So Elm charts, Elm DOM, Elm regex, Elm round, and then the library itself. And then, of course, it won't be able to do this. This looks exactly like it did before. I guess I could also try deleting cache stuff. Okay, that actually is not the full... Yeah, that's 1.0. Can I specify a version? I can also try and track down the forum threads if anybody else had trouble. Yeah, there's no way to specify a version. So the usual solution for this is you, like, delete your entire Elm JSON. Maybe make a copy somewhere so you can actually reference all of the things you need and then manually install them one by one. And maybe you diff it at the end to figure out what the blocker was. I mean, I guess we could just delete the file and let Elm create a new one. Okay, so elm.json. Old.json. So we've got browser, core, HTML's in there. I guess the first thing we have to do is see if can we even install 2 now. Still you. Oh, hey, look at all that stuff. Maybe one of the dependent packages required something else. I guess we're going to have to diff it when we're done and see... But man, that's a dependency list a mile long. All right, browser, core, HTML. What was I doing with file? That might have been a one-off thing. Oh. I don't know if I ever published that. But okay, sure. It's experimenting with a way to save the locked sets. I don't know if it ever quite made it. Okay, core, file, HTML, HTTP. JSON. Parser. SVG is going to be indirect. I guess I could have just moved that one. SVG time URL. I guess I could have used this as an opportunity to see if there's anything I really need. Not Elm UI. That was the end of all the Elm stuff. That version was the same. Oh, that had an update. I wonder if that was it. All right. It just be diff JSON. Okay, so browser and core did have updates. I think that those were allowed by the range. Oh, I actually dropped Virtual DOM. Oh, but we haven't done tests yet. Where's the setup instructions? Okay, so Elm test, it takes care of it itself. Okay, so it hid whatever it put in there. Oh, you had it as... Huh. And then you had something else. Elm random. Well, if you depended on test, then probably it picked it up from that, huh? Okay, it compiles. I still haven't solved the mystery of exactly who was depending on something here. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the date package, because there was some... Because there was a date package here. Goodness. No, doesn't depend on that. One of these has a dependency on something. I wish there was a way to map those dependencies. Or at least have it tell me that there is a newer version. I guess there's time extra. Nope, it's internal to itself. Anyway. We're doing something with, yes, you. We're doing a total rewrite of you, and this says it returns an element, which we can have it do. This is just the chart. Well, we have to start with chart setup. So, what do we turn you into though? Attribute, 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 attribute. This says it pipes it into here. Right now we're just going to throw you away, so that's fine. And you're going to be HTML. Okay, so this is probably going to be insanely ugly. Well, or just nothing. Okay. Now we do know what the size of this thing is going to be. Oh, you actually went height width. Oh, but you're in Floatland. Okay, I still can't really tell if there's anything there. I might want to do highlights here. Okay. We can set the range. How does that work? Orange. This does not match the examples. Are these for alpha? Which version are you for? What? Oh, maybe this is the thing it turns into underneath, and we just say range X. But we have no information about what X is. An interesting thing for a type library. So I guess we have to go with this. Same as lowest. Why? That it didn't explain it. Data min, data max, min -5, max 10. Or lower. 10 to 10, 0 to 10. Or higher? Exactly. 0 to 10 is 2 to 10? Oh, lowest 2. Maybe this is just here because there's no data. Highest 3, lowest 0. Well, this is actually kind of what we want because we're going to have data that doesn't exactly fit. But your floats again. It's like we've got posixes to integers to floats. Just can't win. And we're not really rendering anything yet. Okay, so we don't want any of that stuff. I don't really know if we want this. We want stacked for one. So that's chart.labels, chart.labels. Oh, and there's with grid. That's just a default. Chart.bars, chart.stacked. Yeah, I guess this is a stand-in for data. Oh no, there's data, which isn't specified here. So it's saying get y from data. And then v is... Now this is attributes. Cats, dogs. Is this just x and y? Height, width, margin, padding. No matter what your data is like. Event triggers, attributes, grid labels. Well, there was this. It's a stack, bar number 2. So actually there's attribute and then there's value, which is just a size in this case. Bin, stack labels. Do we just have to do rectangles? Opacity, border width. This is probably just a size on the scatter plot, so it's not like I could do a custom rendering there. Custom chart elements. Heat map. C.list. Name equals color, position, format, data, XY, render, P. Properties. And this is basically rect again. So this is a list of data items. Dot with plane. That's a list of data items that all have the same properties. Ooh, color is a string. Maybe I have a way to do that. So you're actually a function of we don't care to a list of now I guess I could convert this to data up there. Because we have to do something with it. So this is, we're mapping the individual things to a chart.rect. We only specified one range. Oh, range and domain probably have to do with the X and Y axis, huh? I don't remember offhand how that goes. So X is going to be, I'll start. Now I don't know if this is the top or the bottom. Okay, so that's a bottom-up chart by default. And that's a lower, so Y1 is going to be 0. Dot X2 is going to be end, and CA dot... And to probably have... He'll take care of the scaling. And then I have to deal with colors. So that might not show up as anything. And it is. Okay. Maybe I should log that. I keep forgetting to contact the ISP again. 28/11/39. Huh. Last one was a 39 too. All right, so you're just going to be data. Not quite sure what P is. Okay, there's red stuff. There is red stuff that is way the heck too big. I might be having to do something to set my range here. Or is it domain? All right, so our colors. What does Elm UI use? Is this the AV4H from RGB to RGB? What do you have to say about color? You say it's a string. It's under chart attributes. Color string. And we have predefined strings, and that's all you give us. Was this AV4H color, or am I thinking of something else? I'm thinking of something else. So you have your own... Elm UI has its own definition. From, we can only turn it into components. Object color. Okay, so we have a color. We're not going to be using it that long. C2 RGB, 2 RGB. Returns us a value. What can we do with that? It's like I'd like to decompose it. So I can technically do that and that. I don't currently do alpha on anything. Okay, so RGB. These are floats, and we don't have a 2225 version of that. You want 2225. Well, we really want this to be a string. So we have to do x times. If it was 1.0, it would have to be 2555. And then we would want to round that just to be safe because it was a floating point number. And then do string dot from int. And I think this way is guaranteed to succeed. If we can type correctly. Are you the cat operator? Yes. Maybe this would be a good join candidate. Hit the constructor list. So in theory that works. Display timeline arcs. And I removed the code I was using. Oh no, I have it there, except now it has to be, well, I guess you can deal with the string. And now you're just way the heck too big. So this is appropriate. This is, I think we switched back to arcs for a little bit, and there's empty data there. So that maps correctly. I have to get rid of these borders. All right, now, why are you so big? We said our child height was 20, and we said you're 20. This must be, range probably a chart attribute. Is this range, well, no, the range is working fine. What's the limits? Are you gonna complain if I don't do that? It compiles. And it just works. Now, we're currently doing this highlight with the proportional system, so I don't know if it actually lines up. We'd probably want to move so that we're in a larger thing. Oh, that doesn't line up at all. I don't think. Oh, no, that's fine. But now you're... Maybe there was a world break there. Of course, what am I highlighting? Well, whatever the time range was, and maybe I'm only looking at arcs or something? Although this position is a little bit funny. I might need to have a more precise positioning tool. Okay, so this goes back to here. There actually wasn't a whole lot of these in Big Server. You have... This is a different time range. Yeah, I can actually see that moving over. Alright, so a chart library is overkill for these rectangles. We might want to be doing some other things. Of course, if I ever want to chart like population levels or something, then we will actually need to figure out our range. Of course, in that case, I can just set the domain to whatever is appropriate and it'll get rescaled. Now, conceivably... Okay, so that's the text. This is the selected, which we could also do as a thing on here, except then that's a lot more attributes to pass in. Well, this is just time range, right? That'll only be one argument, technically. And is looking more like we'd want to do just the line. And what do you know? It's min and max. That min and max is used there. Well, it's also used down here, so we'll be kind of doing it twice if I calculated it in there. Well, that one's going to need it in float. Well, no, that's absolute min and max, which you just passed down here. So what would be the use of that? Well, it would convert it into a single rectangle instead of 3 elements. But that's actually a big enough change, so I want to do it once. You know what? This is just a rectangle. Doing these as elements gives you a free hover. So it still has the render. We have to translate. We have to give it the name. Oh, that's the individual properties. C.custom. It does only have one color in this case. It's kind of doing position twice. I guess this is like the hover position. So if I said that was height 20, it must default to a domain of 10. Those default tooltips might actually get in the way, though. All right, so we were passing the width down. This is two things we would need. This would effectively pass this, but we'd have to recalculate it. Although everywhere here is going to need it as flow, right? Oh, I didn't end up using this. Well, there's clamp min max on those. So we would have to have them as integers. Actually, clamp works on numbers, so technically we could clamp at float. Did I? Don't need that. Or arcalized things. This is a let once, though. It is min time and max time. Which would mean, unfortunately, we have to float this first to keep on using those. Where are we using min and max? We only use them once. Oh, and actually one of these is +1. Oh, geez. We're doing that color to string every time. And you are line.width. All right, so now we're going to have the range. So start end. So you really just need another rectangle. Which is going to be another. It really should be a plane. And I'm not sure what the order of these is. You're a list. It's a list of one item. I don't know if there's like a... I don't know if there's a no-op for any of these things. So many functions. It allows for missing data. Show up in the tooltip. That's axes, axes, data labels, general labels. For each item due. Each stack, each dot, each item. There's custom. Okay, I don't think anything that's obviously a no-op, so I can't just skip the entire thing entirely. This is where we would just return an empty list, I guess. Okay, so start, and we are going to end up needing these as floats. This is where we do one of these. Okay, and you are going to be from... start to end. And this is where we have to do a color conversion from palette dot selected, except do you have a separate thing for opacity? Yes, you do. Okay, so actually we've got two things here. We've got this case, I guess by itself doesn't need that. Okay, and it did end up on top. However, it looks like the chart has a background. This is just supposed to be a plane. Oh man, I broke something else. Is it possible that having that element in there was establishing the height? We changed a bunch of stuff. How far can we undo? Okay, so that's that. You might still be kind of okay. Okay, so we changed too much. Oh boy. Okay. Just hadn't rebuilt yet. Smaller steps then. We refactored this thing to use the line itself. Okay, and the other thing was line width. Okay, that's a step. We had pulled out the color conversion. And that's fine. Doesn't seem to hurt anything in and of itself. Does an empty plane hurt it? Empty plane doesn't hurt it. All right, I think that's all I wanted to refactor there. So then we got some stuff from here. Okay, so the no-op case is no list. We want something very much like this. Okay, so you are color string, palette dot selected. And I think that's it. Other than the opacity bit. Okay, and that's a full-on color. Now, we're still drawing both of them right now, I'm pretty sure. So that hasn't broken anything. Was it actually this that broke stuff? Right? It's fine now. Okay, so selection in chart. So we could convert these to customs so that they can get labels. I don't know if the tooltips are going to be appropriate. Or also if the interaction on this would be would get in the way of other things we're doing. C each model.hovering. What's P? I'll change style C.amongst model.hovering. Well, we did kind of want to do that. Timeline ranges are derived things, but I guess it would just be a range. Not actually full code. On right, on left or right. So I guess you're a chart thing? For a specific item. Oh, C dot each. Plane. What do we do with planes? Oh, tooltip product. It's an item A. Attribute tooltip, attribute never, HTML never. So that's all formatting? Okay, change direction. HTML attributes any HTML children. So that's item. So this just says it has a tooltip. Now these are just rectangles. So I guess C.series establishes that it's series and then each goes over each of those. C.series year, C.scatter income. So that gives it the accessors for stuff. But that's giving it it's giving it control over how things are rendered. So basically would be custom. Which would let us get into attributes. Any way you like, and add elements for each of them. Oh, and there's the format. I guess data has to be XY. Maybe position is what they use for hit detection. Locate the item for events. The complication we might have here is that we're converting these to a range every time, so it's going to be hard to lazify that. I guess I could do lazy of the timeline.data. And then we'll just have to check how often we're regenerating that. Okay, I see scrolling. Huh. So I'd have to figure out what actually goes into this and sidebar, window width, servers. Well, timeline selections, of course. And then whatever current worlds and oak, these expect full models. Current server, current arcs, current spans. It's basically server stuff. And I could probably narrow the types for these functions. But that's definitely in the performance side. That actually does fall into the custom element thing. But we're getting a little... There's probably events for that. Although we have to... It may conflict with my events. Is the issue. Ah, okay. Oh, fancy. Uh, yeah, clicking in a small area. So, I mean, in a sense, yeah, this zoom's the same chart, though, so it's not quite what I'd want. Oh, this is not even built in. HTML editors. Well, those are events. I mean, something has to be handling them, right? Yeah, on down, zooming and rezooming. Oh, so the entire model is the zooming status of this. No zoom, zooming, rezoomed and zoomed. So I think getting rid of these things would involve some sort of enter leave event on the individual bars. Wait, I was probably messing with stuff here. Oh, that changes the range of that. So what I actually want to do, okay, so this looks like it's actually, uh, is that right? Yep, there was a little span there, okay. So this does seem to be lining up right. All right, well, it's lunchtime. That's when I'm usually on. Let's see if any other coding going on here. I forgot to fix that again. Okay, so there's the Jai stuff. Well, there's some game dev that's just starting.
outside.
Ish. If you're looking for someplace cool to hang out, Took and Wig are doing some duo game dev. They'll switch between screens as needed to show some stuff. They're basically doing Space Invaders thing. If you're looking for someplace cool to hang out, someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye and until next time.